Uh, who was it that's going to be with us tonight, Ben?
Novatech and Olivia.
And do we have Alave on?
No,
No?
Aaron is on right now.
Aaron?
Mm-hmm.
He can hear me, can he?
Yep.
Yeah. Aaron, who was supposed to come in for Aaron? Do you know?
Nope.
Aaron, can you find out if someone is coming in right now at 6 o'clock, and then let me know? Thank you.
You have to unmute your phone.
Well, please get a hold of the person that's supposed to be on tonight because we're waiting for them.
Yes, can you hear me, Frank?
Yes.
Yeah, we were told 6:30. Novatech was first. Jeff's going to be on at
Oh,
3:30.
okie dokie. Well, then what we'll do is I'll just start because I don't see Novatech, and I'm just going to go ahead and start it myself with the Intel. And then
Okay.
when Jeff is here at 6:30, I will stop. I will turn it over to him until 7 o'clock. Then I'll take over at
Okay.
7 o'clock and finish our Intel.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Okay. Okay. Bye-bye.
You ready? Ready? Ready. Three, two, one, go.
The recording has started.
Greetings, family. Welcome to another one of your Frank 26 UB2Bs. It is the 28th of December, 2022, and we are gathered here to study the Iraqi dinar. We are KTFalways.com. Feel free to come and join us. It's free, and you really should, because after the blessing, we're going to keep KTFA open because we're going to post the banks where you can go and exchange. It would behoove you to be a member of our forum. Also, we are KTFalways.com, which stands for Keep the Faith Always in Our Heavenly Father. Before we do anything, we always go to God in prayer. Before we do our UB2B tonight, join me in a prayer. Abba, Heavenly Father, by the blood of Jesus, by his sacrifice on that cross that he was willing to die for me, for my salvation, for me to be free of sin, to talk to you in person. What a privilege, what an honor, what a glory. And I give you all glory, Father, and I thank you for tonight, and I ask that you be with us, that the Holy Spirit will dwell within all of us tonight, that we would have understanding of what we're studying about, and that we would study with harmony and peace and dignity. Forgive me, God, for my sins, and take care of my family, for it is in the name of your Son, Jesus, that I pray. Amen. 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 Before we get started, everything that I say to you tonight is strictly in my opinion. Everything that I'm going to say tonight to you is strictly in the CBI's opinion. I'm sorry, is strictly in my opinion. Oh, Mike Fuller, thank you for your financial contribution. If anybody wishes to help us with a financial contribution, you can find the little tabs underneath chat. And we humbly are grateful and accept it, and thank you for it. Now, what we have tonight, an extraordinary UB2B is what I'm calling it, because that's what they're calling it. You see, my UB2B is made up of what the CBI and the GOI is saying. You know what they're saying? We're having extraordinary meetings. Therefore, this UB2B is extraordinary. Now, for the first 25 minutes, let's look at the articles together. Go ahead and go into, you are a member of KTFalways.com, right? You're not? You should be. Going into the forum, let us now go into final article thread. And you're going to the last page because we were together on Monday and we caught up with a lot of the articles. But now we need to look at the, let me see. Oh, wait a minute. That would be today. Go back to page 116. 116. Now scroll all the way down to the bottom. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. And let me see where we started with. Actually, it's the 27th that I'm looking for the articles here. Well, actually, no, the 28th. Hold on. Hmm, My goodness, there's a lot of articles. A lot. You know, we have more articles now than we've ever had before in the past. Are they having trouble hearing us?
Tyrone is.
Oh,
That's calling
Tyrone.
down. He said you're very low.
Oh, very low. I'm sorry about that, Tyrone. Let's see. We
He
got
says
the
it's okay now.
speaker. Oh, it's okay now? Is it okay now, guys? You sound okay now. Okay, Tyrone, there you go. It was probably just, it wasn't pushed all the way in. And thank you for letting us know. All right, family. So once again, you're turning to the second to the last page. And we're going to start our study tonight with big red letters. Go to post number 2320. Tink, go ahead and change or turn this around. While my wife turns the camera around and you are turning to ktfos.com and you're going to the final article thread and you're in the last page, I think it's page 118, and you turn to final article number 2320. Got it? Okie dokie. Now, ladies and gentlemen, every now and then we find articles that I say, boy, if I could just frame that article, you know? If I could just frame it. Oh, hold on, I need to drink. I've been on the phone all day. Hold on a second. Okay. Dr. Thunder. Thank you, Dr. Thunder, for your financial contribution. Accepted with our hearts wide open. Thank you, brother, for your financial contribution. Family, tonight we start out our study with some wonderful news, and it's blown up in red. Granted, almost everything that we are studying and seeing and reading in print is everything that Walking Stick and I have been telling you all year. That's not to brag. That's to put reassurance in your study with us about what they're doing. We told you that these things would happen. We told you the government was formed. All of a sudden, you got a government. What happened? I thought we had to vote for it. Yeah, they didn't, did they? All of a sudden, we tell you constantly, because you constantly are asking about the HCL, and I constantly tell you they're going to use Article 140. Don't worry about it. The HCL is secured. No, Frank, they have to vote on it. All of a sudden, look at this. Final article number 2320. After years of delay and disagreement, an agreement was reached by the majority to pass the oil and gas law? Reggie Boy says, giddy up. Yes, sir, mount that camel, man. Giddy up. That's, family. Once in a blue moon, there is an article that stops traffic. This stopped traffic on a four-way, one-way street. My goodness gracious. How many times what was the very first thing I told you when you asked me to lead you back in 2008? By now, all of you know because you heard me say it on Monday. And what was the second thing I told everybody in 2008 on December of that year? As soon as you see the HCL, you will see the new exchange rate very quickly after that. Ladies and gentlemen, behold the HCL. I can say that this is in my opinion. I can say that this is strictly in my opinion. But family, what do I say in blue? Shoulder to shoulder. Just like we told you that they would stand. They're not going to worry about anybody else. They're not going to worry about Iran. Iran is self-destructing. It's imploding. I told you Iran would commit phagocytosis. They did. They are consuming themselves from within. Their own citizens, for the first time in their history, are fighting back against the so-called government that they have. Ladies and gentlemen, do you understand what you're seeing here? We told you. I use keywords, don't I? Shoulder to shoulder, we said that Barzani, Sudani, Kazemi, Chalet, the parliament that belongs to the new Prime Minister Sudani, they would all be standing shoulder galay. Every central bank around the world, but we didn't mention that. We simply said that the infrastructure of Iraq's political, not only political makeup, but also at the CBI, they would all be standing shoulder to shoulder. You understand that, family? What was the first thing I told you when we started in 2008? The moment you see the HCL, nanoseconds after that, you'll see the new exchange rate. Have I changed that statement? No. After years of delay and disagreement, no, let me change that. After years of all the BS from Iran stealing from the auctions, an agreement was reached to kick their asses out of Iraq by the majority of Sudani's government to pass the oil and to pass the HCL. Thank you very much. Wow. 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 You are going to spend some time and you're going to read this. Especially right there in red. There is a political agreement between all political blocs and parties to pass the oil and gas law because of its importance. With the start of a new legislative term of the House of Representatives, you guys agreed upon it already. Yes, we did. That means you guys have already voted on it. Yes, we did. That means the HCL is passed. Yes, it is. We have an agreement. And that agreement has nothing to do with Iran. Nothing to do with Iran. This is an amazing article. Make sure that you frame it and show it to your children and their children. Final article number 2321. A statement from who? What do I put up in the blue? Don't worry about what the white suit represents, Sharon. Worry about what the CBI just told you. I wear a white suit because of what the CBI just told you that I can now tell you again. And I don't have to say in my opinion, do I? Final article number 2321. It's a statement. From who? From the board of directors of the Central Bank of Iraq. Oh, who's it to? To the governor of the Central Bank of Iraq? You mean Mustafa Galeh? Yeah. Mustafa Galeh is nothing more but a figurehead. How many times have I said that to you, family? 1,472 times. I think. This is an article that is telling that the board of directors are telling the governor of the Central Bank of Iraq, looky here, this is what you have to do. You understand? The board of directors of the Central Bank of Iraq met on 12/27/2022 and discussed the repercussions and the indicators of the rise of the exchange rate in the local markets and the temporary pressure that the foreign currency of the foreign currency exchange. What does all that mean? All that nice mumbo jumbo. Our currency is handicapped because of a horrible program exchange rate. But the central bank has done many things now to remove that. And it's a temporary pressure that's being put on the currency exchange rate, but just temporary. Make sure you read this, family. Final article number 2322. Urgent. Governor of the Central Bank of Sudan. Are you kidding me, Sudan? Hey, Sudan, you're interested in Iraq? The foreign currency crisis is urgent for technical reasons. That's what you got to say? The governor of the Central Bank of Sudan comes out and he says The foreign currency crisis is urgent, and it's because of technical reasons. And what foreign currency crisis are you talking about? Central Bank of Sudan? Oh, the Iraqi dinar, of course. What business is it of yours, Central Bank of Sudan? Well, the same business that it is of China. The same business as it is of the UK, of Germany, of Venezuela. Everybody! It's our business too. It's urgent, in fact, very urgent, that they do something about the exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar. What do I say in blue? The Middle Eastern currencies that will be in a basket soon are depending heavily on the IQD to gain power, to lead them. Central Bank of Sudan tells the Central Bank of Iraq, get over your technical reasons. Raise the damn value of your currency and get out here in the international world like you said you were going to. It's a wonderful article that is solid colored. You need to read this and why Sudan is now also involved. Final article number 2323. Decline in the dollar in Iraq. Well, I thought it was an increase in the dollar in Iraq. So which is it? And the reason why I show you this article, family, is so that you can understand. I told you. 2 weeks ago was the first time I started telling you. Look at your notes. Notice. I said, what does it say in blue? KTFA family. Notice the 2 to 3% plus or minus fluctuations. And that's because it is depegging from the USD. Today, it went the other way. It fluctuated with the American dollar going down against the Iraqi dinar. Whereas before, it was going up against the Iraqi dinar, which is what we don't want. All of a sudden, we have a decline. Wait a minute. So the managing of the exchange rate crisis by the Central Bank of Iraq is being well taken care of. And as much as we saw the fluctuation of the American dollar gaining on the Iraqi dinar, now we're seeing the reciprocal. Ladies and gentlemen, may I suggest that in my opinion, you will see this downward trend until the Iraqi dinar floats. Daniel, 1966. 1966. That was a good year for white wine, I think. Yeah. Thank you, Daniel, 1966, for your financial contribution. My heart races with joy because I know what it'll be used for. You say Frank's Ub2Bs are always exceptional. Thank you for your exceptional compliment from an exceptional heart that just gave. So, this final article number 2323, decline in the dollar, and I just explained to you the fluctuation will occur. We started telling you that 2 weeks ago. Now I tell you for the first time ever, the fluctuation will continue to go downward until the Iraqi dinar goes out and floats. And that's why everybody's pushing the Iraqi dinar, because everybody wants to be a part of the basket so that they can all benefit from the Iraqi dinar. Kind of brilliant. The exchange rate of the dollar decreased against the dollar this afternoon. Well, that's good, isn't it? It is. The Central Bank of Iraq, the rise of the dollar due to temporary pressures resulting from internal and external factors. External. That's cute. Who did that? I did. Who's I? Galay. You, Mustafa? You put this out? You did this? Yeah. Pretty good. I like the way you put the words together. So, the Central Bank of Iraq, they're saying that the rise in the dollar is due to temporary pressures. Just temporary. It's just temporary. In fact, it's actually going in the opposite direction now, isn't it? Yeah. And this is all resulting from the internal and external factors. Yeah, because it's getting ready to float, isn't it? Well, that's what you told everybody, Frank. What do I say in blue? The exchange rate of the USD will continue to fluctuate until the basket is formed. Are you with me, family? Are you with me, family? The next person that puts a date up, I'm going to ban you. I'm not giving you dates, am I? I didn't say anything about January the 4th. I didn't say anything. They said about January the 9th. We'll talk about it in a little bit. Thank you, Rosa. Thank you, Rosa, for your financial contribution. Rosa, 2015. I believe it's Erickson, if I'm saying that right. Erickson 26. Good number. Thank you for your financial contribution. God bless you. I know about the 4th, you guys. And I know you're excited about it too, because they said it was going to be on the 9th, but now they want to put it on the 4th. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And I see you keep posting about it, and I understand your excitement about it. Let me talk to, let me see, January 4th, no more Iraq dinar talk. We will be doing jumping jacks at the bank. Let me talk to you, Dinar Aaron. Dinar Aaron. How you doing, buddy? Allow me to reach across the phone and shake your hand. Nice to meet you, Dinar Aaron. You posted the January the 4th, no more Iraq dinar talk. We will be doing jumping jacks at the banks. Detroit Aaron, I don't know when. But I do know about the 4th, and tonight we're going to talk about it. It'll probably get you more excited again. I'm excited about it, Detroit Aaron. I'm decided, but we don't like to put dates up, because then people will say, well, I saw the date on Frank's Ub2B. Frank said it was going to be on that date. I never said that. Yeah, it was on your phone. I didn't. Somebody else put it up. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. You understand, family? So, yeah, I mean, I understand your excitement, but we don't know. Mute my side, Tink. But we don't know yet, family. But the Central Bank of Iraq says that the rise of the dollar is due to temporary pressures resulting from the internal and external factors. That is absolutely right. The Iraqi dinar is about to go float in the external environment. The exchange rate of the USD will continue to fluctuate until this basket is formed. I gave you something powerful tonight. Final article number 2324, Independent Deputy. We are confident in the government's ability to contain the crisis of the dollar rise. You notice something, family? Do you notice these articles, the sequence? Do you notice how we give them to you? How one article answers the next article? How one article backs up the previous article? Have you noticed the pattern in how we present these articles, let alone our commentaries, let alone the highlights that we give you, let alone just putting the articles out? You know how much work it takes to get these articles and highlight them and put them the way we do for you? Independent Deputy, what do you want? We are confident in the government's ability to contain the crisis of the dollar rise. And what do I say in blue? Yeah, because they've already changed the IQD exchange rate. There you go again, Frank, saying something that's not true. Every time I say something, you say it's not true. And moments later, it becomes true. So I say, in my opinion, they already changed the Iraqi dinar exchange rate. And it's in many places that are not for your eyes. Final article number 2325. Documents. Okay, well, that's good. Documents. What about them? Documents. The Iraq Finance stops appointments, transfers, bonuses until the approval of the 2023 budget. Here we go again. Here we go again. What did we say about this on Monday, family? Let me see. The article said the CBI is canceling Iraqi citizens' bank accounts. Bank savings account. Yeah, they're canceling them all out. Really? Ring-a-ding-ding. Ring-a-ding-ding. What's up, Frank? Hey, walking stick. What? Did you see that? About the stopping of appointments, the stopping of transfers, the stopping of bonuses, everything from the CBI and the government, both CBI and government, they stopped everything. I told the family it's because they're clearing the slate. Well, that's pretty good, Frank. That's a good example, because that's exactly what it is. When did you ever see them do that? What do I say in blue, family? From citizens' bank accounts to the GOY 2003 budget, everything is frozen. Everything is waiting for the new exchange rate because the exchange rate waits for no one. Are you with me tonight, family? Are you understanding what I'm trying to tell you? Okay, maybe it's just me. I don't know. It's maybe something in the air. Final article number, there's the documentations that they're talking about. Final article number 2,326, a third of Parliament mobilizes. Family, this is an article, this one right here, the 2,325, that you might want to even consider to frame. Why do you think that they're freezing? Walking stick, can I ask you a question? Sure, Frank. Why did they cancel everybody's accounts? Because, Frank, if you remember earlier this year, they tried to get everybody to bring in their dinars. Unfortunately, less than 20% of the Iraqi citizens used the banks in Iraq. What? Less than 20%, Frank. You mean 80% don't use the banks? No. No, 80% keep the dinars in their mattress, remember? They're called dinar mattress. That's what the CBI called them, remember that? I said, yeah. But walking stick, if they're about to give them a new rate and a new small category notes, I can understand clearing the slate. But so many people have accounts. So many people came in just this year, the last 3 months. Everybody understands what the CBI is doing. The monetary reform education really helped. I don't understand. Why would they cancel everybody's accounts? Why would they freeze everything that has to do with the CBI transferring money or bonuses or retirement checks, anything? Why? He said, because everybody automatically is going to have a checking account. Repeat that, walking stick? Because, Frank, the reason why they're clearing the slate, I know you think it's because it's a new exchange rate. You think it's because it's a new small category notes that they're going to give them. Yeah, it's a good way, what you said, they're clearing the slate for all of this. But every Iraqi citizen already has a checking account, whether they know it or not, whether they like it or not. Every Iraqi citizen above the age of 16 now has an Iraqi savings and checking account. Really? Really, Frank? They want to get those 3 zeros in. This is amazing. So that's the real reason why they froze everything, huh? Yeah, they still got to get the 3 zeros in. Fascinating. Family, I'm going to stop now because for the next 30 minutes, we're going to bring you the infomercial. This is a product that I believe strongly in. Tomorrow, I go to my immune therapy at the Cleveland Clinic Cancer Center. They do an IV drip on me for 2 hours for my immunotherapy. And they also do a blood sample. For the last 5 weeks, I had been taking immune. Before I took it, my blood sugar was 147. My doctor says, you got to be careful with your sugar intake. And I said, yes, sir, I understand. The following week, Aaron, our dear brother at KTFA, called me because He lost his eyesight with diabetes. And he started to take this product Immune, and it helped him tremendously. His doctor even called him and said, "You got to come back. We got to do your blood work again because these numbers are wrong. You've been, no, for 20 years, your numbers have been horrible, you know. Get back in here." And Aaron explains to him that, no, it's because I'm taking something called Immune, and it controls my sugar levels. When Aaron told me about this, I told him, I said, let me try it. And when it worked on me, because every 2 weeks they take blood out of me and they tell me what my blood sugar is. When it worked on me, I busted everything I could to get this product information to you, KTFA family. There are many of us that are overweight. There are many of us that are obese. There are many of us that cannot deal with all of this heavy excess weight. Many of us have gone way, way past the margin of safety. Instead of 2 steps forward and 1 back, it's 1 forward and 2 back. And unfortunately, it leads to high sugar levels in the blood. And that leads to the destruction. High sugar is like a laser beam in your body. Whatever it touches, it just destroys it. If it touches your nerve cells, it'll destroy them. If it touches your capillaries, it'll destroy them. Sugar, it destroyed Aaron's occipital nerve that allowed him to see all his life. Sugar is like cancer. It eats you up inside slowly throughout your lifetime, and it's a hard thing to get out of. Family, please listen very carefully. I believe it's Jeff that's with us. Listen to this man. This man is not talking to you from his pocket. He's talking to you from his heart. It has worked on the people he loves. It's working on the people that I love. And I love you enough to tell you, please listen. Jeff, are you there, sir? Unmute his side too. Jeff, hit *6 and talk. There you go. Almost. DJ Tyrone, thank you, sir. Yes, Jeff. Hold on a second. DJ Tyrone, thank you for your financial contribution. God bless you, sir. Thank you, my Scottish brother. Jeff, the floor is yours until 6 or 7. I mean, tell them about this product.
Well, no problem. Thank you, Frank. I mean, I've just worked hard for a number of years since somebody touched us with this. And first of all, for all the contributions people are offering you. And, I got to tell you, in the activity you've done here, each bottle of the Immune, every package a person gets, whether it be one family bottle, 4, 5, 6, and the best value, of course, is 8. And that saves you the most money. But the reality is every purchase is offering a donation to KTFA Ministries and what you're doing, Frank. And so we appreciate you, and we know that you take that reward and do good things with it. So thank you. So I'll move on to the topic at hand, because diabetes is really a big red flag for, I think, close to 70% of the population now at some level. And, actually over 24 years ago, somebody reached out to me, and I was involved in something completely different, in more of the oil and engineering field. But the reality is my wife was a brittle diabetic. She'd been through, at that time, already 2 kidney transplants and was losing her eyesight, diabetic retinopathy, and it was rather progressive. And the other factor, of course, they were talking about amputation, and simply because she was, at a point, she couldn't feel her feet, and we know the list goes on. So, we were just doing everything we could, and certainly everything the doctors advised, and watching everything that went in that she ate. And so the bottom line is, when this was shared with me, it caught me by surprise. It fell outside of my box, so to speak. And, that's where I was at. And it took me about 4 months just to kind of get through, and the understanding that this wasn't going to hurt my wife because, well, the reality is it didn't come through the sources I expected, and the professionals that were taking care of her. She had 7 different professional doctors, and they were doing everything they could. And so the best they could tell me is that, a transplant doctor didn't necessarily recommend it, but couldn't see that it could hurt her. And that was the summation of most of her professionals. So after about 4 months, I ended up in a situation where I was, you might say, a little privy to listen to a very esteemed medical doctor here in the U.S. and actually one of the chief immunologists with the NIH. And he was talking about this discovery, this understanding of now we know what immune does in the body. And it's more of a discovery of how the human body functions. And that's what caught me by surprise. And I realized at that point it was not only true, but it went way beyond what I thought I already knew. And when I began about 2 to 3 years of intense research to try and understand more about this, but immediately when I knew it wasn't going to hurt Judy, we got started. And within about 10 days, she could begin to feel her feet. And we were quite stunned. She was using 48 to 50 plus units of insulin, multiple shots, 5 or 6 a day, possibly at times. And well, the reality is we couldn't hardly keep an ambulance away every few days simply because of low blood sugars, whether it be in the afternoon or middle of the night. A lot of times I had to leave work because of that. And but we got an ambulance here. I got the glucagon shot and, some crackers and orange juice and you name it. And everybody knows that road with the diabetes. So the biggest caution was, would this rock her boat? Because, it took a lot of effort, a lot of medications, of course, and just to keep everything stable. So we were worried about rocking the boat, and good or bad, and to be honest with you, Frank. And so, but that's where we began. And when Judy got started, as I mentioned, within a few days, we didn't see any adverse issues, but she began to feel her feet. But in about 5 weeks, she started having severe issues with low blood sugars constantly. And I thought maybe this was affecting her in a detrimental way. I got her to her doctor, and her endocrinologist been dealing with her for a number of years at that time. And, he cut her insulin by 70%. And I just sat there with my jaw on the floor. And he said, well, there's only thing that will drive that down. And he said, that's too much insulin. And so we've got to cut her back. And she went back to literally 12 units of insulin per day at about 1 to 2 shots. And we were stunned.
Yeah.
And as we begin to support a couple of other areas, one in particular, the endocrine system, we're not going to get into that tonight. I understand you have some well-blessed products that probably provide some great benefits there. But, well, in diabetics, go to an endocrinologist. So that's a good area to consider there. Not synthetics, obviously. We know the difference between the additives versus the support. But what this began to do is get her body to utilize the insulin better. And over the course of 4 months, even the medications she was on, the immunosuppressants, they reduced one 4 different times. And that was a $700 a month medication. And, these were coming out of what I call the HIP National Bank. We didn't have any medical insurance with Judy on this. It was coming out of some, you might say, welfare assistance or disability that she was receiving. But in addition, these medications, they got steep and they're outside of the norm when you talk about transplants. So the list goes on. And over the course of 2 years, we reduced every single medication, which the doctor was not in favor of, but he's the one that reduced it, simply because he saw her improve. And again, not making medical claims here, but that's what we saw. And she went from about $1,600 plus a month worth of medications, immunosuppressants, and other what I call peripheral medications, to 0 and down to 12 units of insulin. And it was just phenomenal. And she's been very, productive since and healthy and in most every way. And she's a type 1 diabetic. Now, that's different than what a lot of people may experience in what they call type 2. We used to call adult onset. Well, children at 6 and 8 and 10 years old are experiencing it. It's not adult onset anymore. Juvenile diabetes, as they used to call it, type 1 is more of an autoimmune. And that in itself was where Judy was dealing with it. And will she ever completely, I don't know. But I know that through the discovery of cellular communication and understanding the role of immune, the active ingredient known as ACE-mannan, it just provides a lot of hope, and in every area. And Judy dealt with 3 different forms of cancer, and in the past, and all this stuff. And all these factors are just amazing today. And so that's where we started. And my road to research took me to the New England Journal of Medicine, August 3rd of 2000. I believe volume 343 was talking about glycosylation disorders and the body's inability to build structures that allow it to function and communicate. It's also known that simply the body's inability to recognize glucose correctly at the cell level, and not utilizing, or in fact resisting insulins, as they call it, is simply a breakdown of cellular function. And so we begin to see incredible advances in those areas. And we know that as type 2 diabetes. Again, not to make medical claims, not to advise or prescribe, but the reality in diabetes type 2 is a damage where the body can't accept or utilize glucose or even the insulin being produced by the pancreas. So when you think about that, and type 1 is more where the pancreas has been damaged. Well, you overwork the pancreas, even type 2 can create a dependency on insulin, and so it can get that far. And so what we have known over the years is by consuming ace-mannan, and what we see in the immune doesn't fix the diabetic problem, it just allows the body, as stated in the New England Journal, to rebuild the structures and allow it to function correctly. And that's why, of course, Aaron, in just a short time, his doctor was stunned. In fact, he thought he had done wrong blood work and had to redo it. So was Aaron, of course, because his blood sugars dropped to a very pleasing level immediately. And we don't promise that to happen with everybody, but with a fair amount. And I challenged Aaron to take 8 capsules a day, which is substantially more than most people take that consider them healthy. Most people that have any challenges are at 4 capsules a day. I mean, if you really understand the science, you'd be afraid not to. And myself being healthy, I'm at 8 capsules, not to encourage other people to spend more money and take the product. But when you first get started, you may begin to start small and titrate up. And as a diabetic begins to get started, one thing I've seen is the body responds. It can react with very little product in somewhat of a detrimental way. The body is wondering what's going on, and it's the elevation of blood sugars may be seen a little bit, but as you take more and be consistent, they begin to drop. And drink lots of water, and as we say, don't forget to breathe. But that's to be consistent is more than the quantity. And where people are already challenged, we just consider, look around in this world with all the related stuff. I'm not going to talk about virus and bacteria and all this stuff, but what isn't after us every day? So in reality, when you think about it, we need a lot more support than average, and that's why most people are taking 4, and that can be available in a family bottle, which is the bottle that has twice what the single bottle has for about $20 less. It just makes common sense. And from there, you can save more as you begin with more. And it just gets cheaper, per amount you take. And so when I think about that, and Judy over the years, I mean, it's been phenomenal. After 2.5 years, her diabetic retinopathy specialist had talked to her and said that he would send her to a regular eye doctor because he had no more issues that he could find. In fact, some of the scar tissue from the last 2 surgeries were somewhat undetectable. He was quite surprised at how the body had repaired some of that. And so that's just what we were told. And we kind of looked at each other thinking, is this for real? And even her cardiologist had sat us down and showed us a workup on her that he'd done just for reasons of being a diabetic and transplant recipient. And he was quite stunned at how her body was at that level. And we know what can go on with cardiovascular issues, the diabetics. And so it began to improve many areas simply because the immune system is tied to everything, period. Whether it be, autoimmune, 154 forms of degenerative disorders such as cancers and psychotropic issues and all. The body's ability to function and communicate means we got a problem, let's go take care of it. And it's able to facilitate that action. And diabetes is similar to many things where things are not working good at the cell level. And so with type 2 diabetics, I always say, be consistent. And of course, I think a lot of people are already watching their diets to the best of their ability. And, who doesn't fudge now and then? I mean, after all, Frank, we just went through Christmas, so we're not going to get into that. But, it's not abnormal to go up and down a little bit. But, but overall, be consistent. And if you're facing some serious challenges there and maybe the doctor is giving you some very bleak outcomes here, then you might consider a lot more. The only red flags that were ever published over the last 37 years of research since it was discovered in the mid-'80s was that, in fact, there was only 2 warnings. And one was that the needs for medications could drop. Well, that might be a warning, but it's a benefit if you think about it. And that's why we say work with your doctor. The needs for your insulins and oral medications could begin to drop. And the doctor, of course, isn't there just to give you a bunch of medications. He's there to kind of block, inhibit, and stimulate and control where they don't have any other answers. And that's a good thing, when we need help. But what heals the body is the human body. And he'll tell you that. They'll tell you that. She'll tell you that. There's all kinds of people involved in medicine today, and females as well as men. But the reality is our incredible professionals are fighting their end of it. And as one doctor told me, he said, I can only do so much. If we can't get these people to do things that can take care of them, I just can't win, and they won't. And I thought, yeah, and that's my mission, is to let people know this is a gift, an understanding that was discovered in the mid-'80s. It's worked its way through the channels. But in addition to the ruling by the FDA in the mid-'80s, it was classified as a food compound because it was non-toxic and was proven to have no interactions with any oral or injectable or any type of prescribed medications of any class or over-the-counter supplements, etc. So it was benign in all of those areas and set on the shelf as a food compound until we picked it up in the ministry, and we've been serving children with it for close to 25 years. The reality is that's what we now make available here. And every product, when you purchase the Immune, you're actually serving a child. And we're not going to get into all of that tonight, but we provide this blessing to children in over 96 orphanages. We're in over 80 countries, and we're partnered with dignitaries in many nations around the world. And so that's what we do as a ministry combined with another worldwide ministry, and we provide this to a company, a social business platform called Alivea. And I'm honored to be a part of that. I've been with the founder of that for now close to 24 years. And, my mission is to help people understand this to the best of my ability. And, Frank, I didn't get off into the science tonight, but you know me, I can go into the deep dive. And, but it's all published, in fact, into the Library of Congress into 2012 as of January. And that's a 200-page report called Roadmap to the Future, and it's referred to as glycosciences. MIT said that the study of this and this technology and what it supports in the human body was one of the top 10 technologies that would change the world. That was the Technology Review, 2001. So I can continue, but I just kept digging, wondering, oh my God, the deeper I dug, the more powerful it got. And I thought, why don't our doctors know about this? And for the most part, I would say it's beginning to fall into their lap right now. As of 2012, they stated within 10 years that it would be into every science curriculum relative, including becoming a doctor and becoming be licensed to be a medical doctor. So it began in high schools in 2005 in the areas of what they call allopolysaccharides, glycans, the role of this in the human body, not our product, but the role of the science behind what it does. So it's all there, and but you're not going to find it on the shelf. In fact, there's a lot of imposters out there, and you know that, Frank, because I can tell you, the cream of the crop, I think, is what you find here. There's some very few, I would say, but a class of companies here that provide things that you just don't find on the shelf.
Amen.
And whether it's the way you expect to buy it or not, but the reality is you're not going to find it out there. Why? Because we cut out all the middlemen, and there's nothing added in between there. And we pay a small reward to people that share our movement, and the same with some of these other companies. They provide for those that let people know that this is available, and other technologies that have been brought to market. But there's no technology with no more science over the last 25 years behind this than what we see in this particular product we now call the Immune. So, I could talk all day, but my buddy Aaron is on the call with me. Actually, I was introduced to Aaron a few months back, and, we did what we could to gather some people and encouraged Aaron just to get going, because he was already at a point where something needed to happen. And, I guess we all pray for answers and wonder, where's my lightning bolt? Who's going to knock on my door? And, and I kind of felt that, and probably Aaron did when Dorothy called him, because, sometimes like God says, knock and open the door. And so I feel like that's what you've done here, Frank, is you've opened the door to a lot of people. And as a great servant, a minister, and I know that's where I started years ago. Before I heard about this, I got to the back porch and they were talking about amputation and blindness, stroke, and the battles with cancer, and all the years I saw her fight for her life. And I said, God, if you're real, you need to suit up and show up. And that's what brought me into the picture, I have to honestly say. And the rest of it was kicking and you might say kicking and screaming to believe that this truly was everything I was hearing about. So it is, and I am, and I'm honored to be here. Aaron, are you with me, sir?
Do you see Aaron, Tink?
Maybe he's unmuted.
He's not muted. Aaron, you're not muted. Go ahead and talk.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Wow is all I have to say. Wow. I just want to thank God for Dorothy Hudson calling me and introducing me to this, and then getting Jeff Allen on the line and going over all this with me. And that really caught my attention when he was telling me about his wife with 2 kidney transplants, because I had one myself. And I will forever be grateful to both of them for what they've done. And Frank, I will forever be grateful to you for, I had no ambition, no anything to do with a Ub2B, as you call them. I called you up as a friend and said, hey, my diabetes condition is reversing. And you asked me, well, what are you doing? And I told you, and you said, we're gonna have to tell people about this and do a YouTube on it. So the Lord has definitely orchestrated this whole thing from beginning to end.
Amen.
And as often as I've talked to Jeff since I was introduced to him on the phone back in August, I never heard the whole story about his wife until just now. And that is just amazing. That's tough to follow. That's an amazing thing that the Lord has done in blessing this molecule and what it allows our immune system to do. So I'll do a real quick recap for those who might have not heard me before. I was diagnosed 34 years ago with type 2 diabetes. I was 30 years old at that time. Most of us think we're invincible. I was an athlete, and I took a lot of health supplements to begin with, just for my competition and so forth. So they put me on an oral medication, and about 2 weeks after I was on it, it made me feel just terrible, and I just stopped taking it. And I continued taking all these supplements I was taking, but my blood sugars were showing in the 200s and 300s, and I simply chose to ignore it because I wasn't feeling any symptoms whatsoever, and I was continuing on my life as normal. But obviously that was very unwise, and about 17 years later, the symptoms manifested, and I ended up going on dialysis in November of 2006. I went blind 3 weeks later, which totally disrupted our life between my wife, myself, and my daughter, because I had 20/20 vision going into dialysis, and now all of a sudden I went blind. My right eye was eventually removed because it was ruled by the doctors dead, and it was causing pain I've never felt before in my life. And my left eye, to this day, I can see light and dark, and that's it. But I believe, as I continue to put these pills, these capsules of immune in my body, that there's a chance that there could be some improvement there. And I ask the Lord to put that in, that be His will. So as an update, I had a complete physical and blood work done September 12th. I had been on the product for 35 days. My blood pressure, which generally is very, very high, goes along with blood sugar being high, was 117 over 76 in the doctor's office. That alone got him wondering, and he took my blood pressure several times. The blood work came back the next day. Doctor called me. Unbelief, as you guys have discussed. My inflammation, which we know is horrible and the cause of a lot of different problems in the body, mine was 4.9. That's the lowest it's ever been. And my last test was 3 months earlier in June. My inflammation went from 4.9 to 2.3, which is an incredible change. Still high, but an incredible change in the right direction. My LDL, your bad cholesterol, and I didn't know it was going to affect any of this stuff. My LDL was 145 in June, which is not good. And in September, it was 85, normal. And that's after just 35 days on the product. Every single marker in my blood work went in my direction. And I was feeling good. And so doctors didn't believe it. He had me call my transplant team. They redid my blood work on October 5th. Came out even better. My A1C went to 6.8, still high, but that's the lowest mine has ever been in 34 years of testing. I had been in the 8s, the 9s, once or twice in the 10s, and a couple of times in the high 7s. And so that was an incredible, feat in itself right there. Now, November 4th, 2 days after we did our first YouTube, I saw my dermatologist. I go every 3 months. I've been seeing her for 12 years. And I've had 3 major bouts of skin cancer with surgeries, 2 very serious. And they were simply side effects from the anti-rejection drugs that I have been taking for my kidney transplant. And as Jeff said, those drugs are to weaken your immune system so it doesn't discover you have a foreign body inside of you. And here I was taking this immune, which is making my immune system work better. They thought I was nuts. And in the meantime, I've been able to reduce 2 of my anti-rejection drugs now by up to 50%. Still getting absolute perfect numbers on my kidney functions. And as a latest update, I haven't traveled anywhere in 16 years. Since actually probably a little bit more than that. I've been going to doctor visits, to the store, local restaurant now and again. Last month, my son took me, anyone knows LA at all, my son took me to the USC Notre Dame football game. I went in a wheelchair because I really still was having a very hard time walking. That was my first real outing, and can't remember how long. But December 14th, I traveled for the first time. I got on an airplane with my daughter. We flew to Las Vegas. My son met us there. My granddaughter lives there. She's 9 years old, and she was performing a Christmas type singing, Hanukkah and Christmas songs, and she's in the Glee Club. And I was so thankful. I mean, I had tears running down my eyes, or happy tears. I wear sunglasses everywhere I go, day or night, because that just helps me and makes me feel better. I'm very sensitive in the left eye to light. And it's a memory I'll never forget. I thank the Lord whether that's the last time I was able to do it or the first of many, which I believe, that I had enough mobility, even partly in a wheelchair through the airport, but still being able to walk some. I attribute that to this immune because I couldn't do that beforehand. I've regained some mobility. I've regained energy. I have a long, long way to go because my body has been devastated internally from this. But I believe that this is stopping the advancement in its tracks and actually starting to reverse it in some areas. So all I can say to anyone listening to this call is I was skeptical also. I tried it all. I spent a lot of money over 30 years on products. I'm telling you, as God is my witness, take this immune, swallow it, and you're going to have a life that's going to improve your health. It's going to improve. You're not just going to exist. If you want to be able to be with your spouse, with your kids, with your grandkids, be able to start doing things that some of you may not have been able to do for a while, like myself. This will give you the encouragement. I'm trying to encourage you, and this will give you the hope that this stuff works. So I'm going to say, I can't say it cures this, can't say it does that. It's your body, it's your immune system doing the work. But this works, and this will work for everyone. You just need to keep taking it. Don't skip, don't forget. And you can monitor yourself. You can see different things happening besides blood work, where not everyone definitely goes to a doctor all the time. But my brain fog went away. My neuropathy went away. My skin condition improved. There's nothing that just hasn't helped. So, and excuse the background. I have two dogs.
Your voice,
and they left me alone here.
My
voice dropped.
Your voice improved too. Wow.
Oh, it improved. Listen to that. Thank you, Napa.
Go ahead and start
anyway,
wrapping.
I just want to challenge
Start wrapping it up.
It's too loud in here with the dogs. To get this product, you want to learn the science? Great. Learn the science. Get educated. You don't have to be able to speak it. I can't. Jeff really broke it down tonight. He made it a lot simpler to be able to share this. And I'll tell you that if I didn't know anything about this product until tonight, and I was just a listener like a lot of you are, and I heard what Jeff had to say, I'd be on the phone, because I can't go on a laptop since I'm blind. I'd be on the phone the second this call's over, and I would avoid bottles, and I would have found a way to come up with it. That's how much I believe in what this will do for you. In addition to all the benefits of helping children and everything else involved, this is a win-win-win situation. And I am available. I can't accept a text. I can't go online. But I'm going to have Dorothy come on now, and she's on the same line. Frank, she'll keep this unmuted. And I'll have her come on and explain how to get a hold of us and go from there. Thank you, everyone.
Let's have Dorothy wrap it up. Go ahead and wrap it up for us,
Yeah.
Dorothy. Go ahead.
I sure will. I'll take less than 60 seconds here. I want to say thank you, Frank, for being a conduit for us to reach out and share this fantastic and wonderful product with so many people who are praying for it. We have set up an email for any of you to reach us. Frank has a whole team working behind him. There's Aaron and myself and Jeff and Marlene, and we want to talk to you and help you get the best discounts available so you can get the most product in your home at the best price. Please email us at info@franksallo.com, franksallo.com, and put your phone number in there. If you want to talk to Aaron, make a note and let us know the best time to call you, like mornings, afternoons, evenings. We are here for a free consultation because we want you to understand and have all your questions answered and to take advantage of double discounts. Okay? We're here as a team. We're here to help you. And we hope you all have a wonderful new year coming up to health and happiness. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you. God bless you, Jeff, Aaron, and to you, ma'am. This product has changed my life. Sadly, my biggest enemy when it comes to food is sugar. Sugar is the food for cancer. Cancer does not eat protein. Cancer eats sugar. It thrives on it. I saw somebody make a post here. They said, "Oh, I can't wait to order this product when I can afford it." Well, as facetious as it may sound for me to say, you can't afford not to have it. There's great truth in what I'm telling you. When you sit there and you eat that McDonald's with the fries and the ketchup and everything, or when you have that ice cream late at night or the bag of potato chips, add up what you did in 1 month, what you ate that you should not have eaten. Can you imagine if that money would have gone to this product, where your body would be right now? There is no reason for you not to try. Yes, sir?
I thank you for bringing that up. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was at $500 a week income, working hard for a living, and that kept me back for 4 months just because I could not afford it. When I realized what was going on and what it could mean, I actually ended up selling a car that was given to us by the church. and I was able to receive $500 for that. And I looked around the house, and I'll just be blunt. I looked at the things that we didn't need if something happened to Judy, and she was more important. And we started having garage sales. We did what we could at that time.
Yes.
And she began to get better over time. And, we did what we could to just pay bills because, about a month or two into this, after 26 years, I left my job, and I began to study and look at this and help people. And so it was a challenge for us, but I saw it. I almost felt I'd been given a gift. And, well, we leave people with that. There's one thing that I just felt compelled to say here, and that is that, as God says, He is able to bless you abundantly so that all things at all times, having all that you need, so you will abound in every good work. And I believe this is one of those blessings. So thank you. And we had to kind of give it all to receive it all. And that's how I felt. And I just need to put that in there because everybody sometimes thinks, well, if I had the money, and that, that's true. But look around for the things that you maybe are not as important as what you're facing. And that's how we were at that time. Thank you, Frank. Bless you.
I thank you for your testimony. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, Jeff shared with you very intimately what he's been going through with his wife. She's on dialysis. This product has been a blessing to her. Aaron is blind. This product has been a blessing to him. The Lord healed me of cancer. This product has been a blessing for me. And when people spit in my face, I mean inches away from my face, and call me names and say guru, liar, whatever, I used to fight back. You remember? If I didn't like you, what'd I say? Up yours. But now I send you upward towards Jesus. He healed me. He healed me not only of my body, but of my spirit and soul to understand my purpose is to love. And by teaching you this product, family, we're loving you. We're helping you to get your body back to where it should be. Sugar is a dangerous thing. Carbohydrates that lead to glycogen or to other products that, are related to sugar is a dangerous thing. This product has come into my life, and when it did, it was at the right time, immunotherapy. And now I'm bringing it to everybody because the moment I saw what it did, I told Aaron, are you kidding me, Aaron? We cannot keep this this is God's best kept secret, I think. I mean, this product comes from the aloe plant. The aloe plant comes from the Garden of Eden. Let's tell everybody about it. And we have, and in 1 month, well, now we're completing 2 months. We haven't had one person that says that they want their money back guarantee. God bless you. Thank you, the three of you that came to help tonight. We'll bring you back again, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Vaya con Dios.
Thank you, Jeff. Vaya con Dios también. Vaya con Dios. Real quick, I want to thank, I think it's Dina Thompson, if I'm pronouncing Dinah. I think that's Dina. Or Dinah. Yeah, oh, yeah, like Dinah Shore. I'm sorry. Thank you, Jan. Dinah Thomas, thank you for your financial contribution. It is greatly received with open arms. And we appreciate you, Dinah. Thank you. Maria Miller, thank you for your financial contribution while we were doing our Ub2B. We see you. We thank you. Doris, thank you, sweetie, for your financial contribution. We appreciate your help. Thank you so much. Norman Scott, thank you, sir, for your financial contribution. I really appreciate it, and so do many others. Family, if it is that you wish to help us in a financial manner, if we are worth it, then please feel free to give us a financial donation. You can find the tabs down at the bottom of chat. Let's get back to work, family, because there's no more infomercials, so here we go. Final article number 2326. A third of parliamentary mobilizes. That's a lot. Mobilizes for what? For the special session on the dollar crisis that is approaching. Family, I asked you before we took our commercial break, are you noticing the pattern? Are you noticing the pattern? My goodness gracious. This pattern is very interesting. And as you know, we study patterns. When we have a pattern that's broken, it means something and it leads to something else. We follow it. These articles only talk about one thing: the exchange rate. Now you may say, yeah, well, they're talking about the exchange rate of the American dollar. And when they do, they also are talking about the exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar. Yeah, I suppose they are, but they're not pegged together anymore. Well, officially, they're not unpegged yet, are they? They told the citizens of Iraq, we have the article, that they can no longer use the Iraqi currency in the country of Iraq. If that's not the definition of depeg, I don't know what is. So why would you depeg? Because you're about to internationally float. Oh, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Of course. And 1/3 of Parliament? No. 100% of Parliament. That's all they talk about. That's all that Eddie talks about to me. That's all these articles talk to you about. The exchange rate of the dollar against the against the Iraqi dinar. It's the same as saying the exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar against the American dollar. America, thank you for your financial contribution. I love that name. America, in God we trust. Hoorah. Good article. And you'll enjoy it because it's loaded. The situation needs immediate and other solutions. You know that it's already been solved. Final article number 2327. An expanded meeting attended by al-Sudani and the government is about to issue a decisive statement on the dollar crisis. Here we go again. Do you notice the pattern, family? What do I tell you up on top? Exactly that. KTFA family, are you noticing the pattern of these articles? It's all about the exchange rate. That's it. Isn't that wonderful? An expanded meeting attended by al-Sudanese. The government is about to issue a decisive statement on the dollar crisis. Really? It's like what? Well, we're going to float our currency and depeg from the American dollar. We'll pair with it in the basket. Is that decisive enough? Yeah. Yeah, very decisive. Thank you very much. And by the way, to Dan, my friend Dan from Canada. No, Dan, I'm not about to give a review of the first hour. That took a lot of energy. And in that first hour, Dan, I released information that I had never, ever released before. Let us pray, Dan, that people go back and listen to the beginning of our Ub2B. Final article number 2327. An expanded meeting attended by al-Sudani and the government is about to issue a decisive statement on the dollar crisis. That's all they talk about. Final article number 2328. The dollar is on its way to stability. The Sudanese advisor reassures and warns everybody. What do I say in the blue? Well, that's because the IQD is about to float and the USD will be stabilized in a Middle Eastern basket. Yeah. Yeah, that's what the article says. Well, thank you very much. That the exchange rate of the dollar against the Iraqi dinar is on its way to stability. Being on par with the American dollar is not stable. The American dollar sucks. It's being murdered by the leaders of this country. Final article number 2329. The dollar is falling more with the closing of the stock exchange in Baghdad and Erbil. Yeah, what do I say in blue? Yeah, because the IQD is getting ready to float. Do you notice the pattern, family? Are you catching on? Remember when the Article 140 was so important? And you saw hundreds of articles. I told you, don't worry about it. They're using Article 140. Ladies and gentlemen, we have agreed, Barzani and Kurdistan have agreed on Article 140. I told you so. And now I tell you, the HCL, it's signed, sealed, and delivered. It is about to come out in a trifecta. A new exchange rate, the HCL, a budget. And I talked to you about that on Monday. Yes, the dollar is falling more with the closing of the stock exchange in Baghdad and Erbil because that's what it's supposed to do. The Iraqi dinar is about to float. Thank you very much. Beautiful article. Final article number 2330. Iraq and Japan sign an economic agreement worth $1.2 billion? Are you insane? Japan, seriously, what you been eating? What do you mean you just signed an agreement worth $1.2 billion? Why didn't you do it last year? Why didn't you do it 20 years ago when we first went in there? And what do I say in the blue title? Hey, Japan says to the IQD, suck it to me, baby. Saki. Get it? Saki. Saki to you're allowed to laugh. That was a joke. It's okay. Okay. Anyways, yeah, Japan. What do you know that I don't know? Frank, you know. Ring-a-ding-ding. Ring-a-ding-ding. Yeah, Frank, what do you want? Hey, walking stick, do you know something that I don't know? Maybe. And then what did he say, Tink, after that?
Nice try.
Nice try. But then after he said nice try, then I said to him again, I asked him, right? And what do you remember what he said after that? I don't.
Oh, you don't need to know?
Remember that?
Yeah.
Walking, when I asked him, do you know something that I don't know? And he says, maybe. And I said, what? And he says, Frank, you don't need to know that right now. Yes, sir. All I know is that Japan, 1.2 billion. Are you insane? It's not even Hussein that did this. Oh my word, it's Japan. Golly, man. Look at the Japanese ambassador. What's up, buddy? Saki? Yeah, I know. Final article number 2. No, seriously. Yeah, I like what Dave says. Hey, Frank, what? Just drop the mic. As soon as they drop the American dollar, I will. Final article number 2331. The central bank governor, the measure taken will contribute to achieving monetary stability. What? The governor of the Central Bank of Iraq now, I know you're just a yes man. I know you just do what you're told by the board of directors of the CBI, but let me wait a minute. You got the matzo balls to come out and say to me that the measures that you have taken as the governor of the Central Bank of Iraq will contribute to achieving monetary stability? Sir, do you know that a program rate is the opposite of monetary stability? Therefore, you're telling us that you have gotten rid of the program rate and we have a new exchange rate. Is that right? What do I say in blue, family? A new exchange rate with the new small category notes equals security and stability for the IQD. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much. You thank yourself. Final article number 2332. Iraq's F-16 warplanes target 2 hideouts containing 10 terrorists in Diyala. And what do I say? In fact, why do I even bring this article? Why do I even care? Oh, Lynn, Kreidler. Lynn Kreidler, thank you kindly for your financial contribution. God bless you. You say thank you, Frank and Tink, for all that you do. So appreciated. Trust me, Lynn. Many appreciate you. Final article 2332 is brought to you by Sudani. What do I say in blue? Sudan is in control of Iraq. I mean, how many times did you read before Iran just blew up something in Iraq? Iran just sent a bunch of drones over, and Iran fired a bunch of missiles into the green zone area. Iran just... Have you seen any of those articles recently? Of course not. Now, let us now turn to the next page. You're turning to page 117, and we are going to scroll on final article number 2333. Iraqis do not have modern bank accounts, and the underdevelopment of the banking system pushes them to save in homes. We were just talking about this, weren't we, before we did the commercial break? How much did I say to you that Walking Stick was talking about to me? Less than 20% use banks, Frank. Are you serious? Yeah, about over 80% keep their dinars in their mattress. That's why the CBI calls them dinar mattresses. Yeah, Iraq does not do not have the modern bank accounts, and the underdevelopment of the banking system pushes them to save in their homes. But that's different now. What do I say up in blue? Eddie and his bank friends' conversation also. That's what they talk about. That's why the slate is being wiped clean. Yes, to retrieve the 30 notes, but also to introduce what is going to replace the 30 notes. Beautiful article. And when I read you Eddie's report tonight, you're going to understand what this statement is all about. And I hope I have time to read it to you. It depends on my energy. Depends on your energy, too, for that matter. This will give result for type 2 diabetes. Yeah, it helps, Catherine. It'll help tremendously with diabetes type 2. Final article number 2334. The deputy. What deputy? Well, somebody from the CBI. All right, what you got to say? The central bank does not provide the legislative authority with information under the pretext of confidentiality. What do I say up in blue? Hey, CBI to Parliament. I mean, that's what it says. CBI to Parliament. In other words, Parliament, you say that the CBI does not have the authority or power to do things that they're doing, and that it's everything that they're doing is under the pretext of confidentiality, and that they're not telling you what they're doing? Well, because it's none of your business. Final article number 2335. Iraq's MPs push, and those are ministers in parliament. Iraq's MPs push for extraordinary session over chaos in currency exchange market. Wow. Well, on Monday we had an article where we saw the governor of the CBI say the same thing that the Prime Minister of Iraq, Soudani, said. We're having an extraordinary session with the CBI. Then the following article, what did it say? Mustafa Galay, the governor, we're having an extraordinary session very soon with the government of Iraq. And then all of a sudden you see this article that says that the place where they're going to have this extraordinary session, you know, the ministers, Parliament's ministers, they're saying, we have a push for an extraordinary session over the chaos in the currency exchange market. There is no chaos, okay? There is no chaos. Now, check this out. What do I say in blue? What do I say in blue? What does it say there? Emergency session before the 9th? Is that what you were talking about, my dear friend, when you were trying to tell me that you're going to go to the bank on the 4th? I see. So, some people got excited when they read this, family. Iraq dinar has been losing value against the dollar as U.S. authorities increase security of the transactions from Iraq. And what do I say in blue? Because the IQD is preparing to float internationally. The U.S. Treasury, the IMF, the World Bank make sure that the Iraqi dinar was secured, and they had emergency sessions, to extraordinary sessions on, in fact, to deal with this quote unquote currency chaos. It's not a chaos. It's all working out. It's all working out. And when we read the rest of this, the Iraqi dinar has dipped sharply against the dollar since the beginning of December, as U.S. authorities have tightened security measures on foreign transactions. Oh, you mean the international float of the Iraqi dinar? Yeah, that's what we've been working on, yeah. From Iraq to stop dollars being funneled to Iran. Oh, what do I say in blue? You mean the auctions that have been stopped and wiped out? It stopped Iran? That is correct, Frank. Iran is reeling under the U.S. sanctions, and its economic woes are causing widespread protests. What do I say in blue parentheses? Yeah, Iran needs a currency. Iran needs the IQD. How many times have I been saying that lately, family? The Iran-backed Iraqi government has been struggling to control the exchange rate to contain monitoring public anger over the soaring prices of goods. And what do I say in blue? It's not Iran's Iraqi government any longer. That's why they said what they just said. Of course they're struggling. They badly need a currency. They badly need Iraq's currency. They badly need for Sudani to pay attention to Iran, to give them a few crumbs. Make them as small as possible, Sudani. Beautiful article. The legislative body is in a recession until the 9th. But wait a minute. Why are you talking about the 4th? I'm not. Well, what do you mean the 4th? Your article is talking that you guys want to do this on the 4th, this extraordinary session. This is before the 9th, before you guys were talking about that. I don't know anything. Neither do I. Read this article, family. Final article number 2336. The CBI says, new instructions will be issued to a number of banks regarding the price of the dollar. Behold, Eddie. Behold, KTFA family. The CBI gives extraordinary monetary reform education to the citizens and to you as well, KTFA family. Final article number, oh, by the way, hold on, look at this. I tell you what, you read it. I'm going to drink some water. B like in boy, B Bullet 777. Thank you kindly for your financial contribution. Thank you so much, B Gullet 777. It says, you folks are amazing, Frank 26. You're very kind. But the only reason you find us in that realm is because we are blessed by God with good teams. And I am very, very fortunate to be able to bring you the information from our teams. Yes, Patriot of Hope, Don Juan. Don John. Dan John. Don Juan. Yes, Patriot of Hope, Dan John. The 29th plays an important part, doesn't it, Dan John? We talked about it on Monday, didn't we? Actually, 2 Mondays ago, we presented 3 29ers. And they were all powerful, weren't they, Dan and John? So the 29th of January, when the stock exchange of Iraq makes a move, we would hope that the budget would be exposed before that on the 9th, like they said. But oh my goodness, now they're even hinting, why don't we see if we can get this done by the 4th? That's fine with me. You will get no complaints as soon as possible. The 4th is even closer to the titanium date that you once had. Mark Jensen, thank you for your financial contribution. God bless you. OP, what's that stand for? Operation, maybe? OP. Huh, I wonder. Whatever it is, I like the hippopotamus with the rocket above his head. Beautiful articles, family. This says the CBI will issue instructions to a number of banks that were chosen. Ooh, I told you not every bank was going to be able to do this. That was chosen to work on official holidays, which are tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, in order to continue selling the dinar to the public. In the coming days, it will witness the presentation of the cash dollar currency in full. Oh, no. Wow. Okay, that's good. In the coming days. All righty. Family, I know what my friend from, the gentleman I was talking to earlier, I know what he meant about the 4th. And I know what they mean here about the 9th, right there. And I know what they mean about the 29th. But has anybody told you about January the 2nd? That's even closer to the old titanium. No, seriously, let me ask you again. Has anybody told you about January the 2nd? And if they have, what did they tell you about it? Now, the answer is no. Nobody. There's Young. No. There's David. He says, "You're going to tell me, Frank? You're going to tell me? You better tell me, Frank." Kathy. Hey, Kathy, hold Frank. I'll kick him in the knee. He's going to tell us. Travis, hold his other arm. BB, make sure that he doesn't run away. Linda, everybody, Keith, hold on to him. Hey, I just woke up, Tyrone. January the 2nd? What? What? Oh, wait a minute. I know it's 4 o'clock in the morning here in Scotland, mate, but I heard that. What? These are some mighty powerful articles that have been presented to you, family. And look, this last article. All right, so the CBI instructions will be issued to a number of banks regarding the price of the dollar. It is a beautiful statement, but what do I say in blue? The reason for this is because the CBI gives extraordinary monetary reform education to the citizens. Thank you. Move the camera, Tink. Whew. Yes, sir, I know. One. All right. Checkpoint Charlie, check down 1 now. And that'll do it. Today is... All right. Back 27. Family, on Monday, I read... Did I read? Yeah, on Monday I read to you Eddie's report. I think I did, didn't I? I can't remember. So here's what we'll do. Monday. No, I'm sure. Yeah, I gave you all 3 things on Monday, the trifecta. So Monday's report, that's a good one too. Mr. Frank, the exchange continues to raise part of the spokesman due to the CBI making the treasuries and it's gonna la. That's right, Eddie. The CBI is meeting powerful meetings and that's what they're doing. La. Mr. Frank, there's a lot of double checking going on right now about the budget. To them, that means it's going to be a special budget. They already said that it will be unlike any other budget in the history of our country ever before. That is so true, Eddie. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just reading off. I should have told. Here, let me be louder. I'm sorry. I'll pick up. up where I left off. That's so true, Eddie. This budget is monstrous. It's in the trillions in dinars with the old exchange rate. But the new exchange rate will put the budget in the billions. And that's why you're seeing what Japan is saying. So don't worry about the American dollar going up in value. It's because of the depegging in both currencies. And it will fluctuate until the Iraqi dinar floats. But we are looking for the Iraqi dinar to float internationally soon and fluctuate. Don't let the dollar fluctuation bother you inside of your borders. That's again because of the depegging. It destabilized the American dollar. The fluctuation there is not inside of your borders, and that's exactly what the CBI is setting up the dinar to do. And that's exactly what the CBI is teaching you, Iraqi citizens, that they are doing. Eddie, it may sound confusing at times with the articles or what they say to you on television, but that's only because they are limited on how much that they can say to you about the monetary reform. Even with what they already are saying, that's more than enough for you to understand what is about to happen to your currency on an international level. The platforms that the CBI has established are very rare. These platforms are used only to move and swap currencies when a major change in the banking structure is to occur, or when they're buying and selling in major contracts. They are also used to move massive amounts of money between banks, and that's the swap. That Iraq dinar is being swapped right now with many countries and depegged from only one country, the U.S. dollar, for the purpose of its own internal growth, no longer depending on the American dollar nor the auctions from the CBI. The Iraqi dinar stands in the Middle East by itself right now like a giant walking through a rainforest. Mr. Frank, this is exciting. Monday, 8:37. So that was a quick review from Monday. So here we go. Monday, the last report of the day. Eddie saw his bank friend today. He asked him about his high exchange rate of the dollar. In his opinion, it is this way, he says, because the CBI is trying to collect even more dinars into their banks because Iraqi citizens keep their dinars hidden. They are selling the US dollar if you're going abroad for dinars. And this also will help to get some of the 3 zeros off the streets. This is off the streets because still only like 11% of Iraqis use the banking system? 11%! Wow. I told you it was less than 20%. Eddie and his bank friend is telling him, shoot, we're doing this because you still haven't brought in the 3-0 notes, and we're wiping out the slate because you haven't brought in enough 3-0 notes. Okay, let me reread. They're doing that, and that's why the high exchange of the dollar, in his opinion, this way to collect even more dinars in our banks, because they are selling the dollar for those that want to travel abroad for dinars to help get some of this off the streets, because still only 11% of Iraqis use the banking systems in our country due to no trust in the banks and previous corruptions. Although things are improving, but this is a way to get notes in. Then that makes the dinar more in demand and more valuable. It is worth more, not only in our country, but outside. That's called a float, Eddie. Outside. Many Iraqi citizens keep money in their mattresses, not in the banks. Sudani is saying a new banking push is coming to get citizens more involved and trust. You see, Sudani comes out, just like the article said, and told the Iraqi citizen, hey, we're fixing things, okay? From the dollar rate, exchange rate, to your bank accounts wiped out, bada bing, bada boom. We're fixing things, okay? No worries. Very soon you're going to have your budget, the new exchange rate, and a new currency to match it. So saying it's the banking push is coming to get citizens more involved and to trust the banks. Yesterday, Oh, there's a fourth report yesterday, 11:01 in the evening. The CBI governor met today with Sudani, Mr. Frank, over the exchange rate of the dollar again. Then the CBI governor says for official foreign exchange deals, the rate is now at 1465. It's a lot of talk about the dollar exchange rate. Then we see the framework putting screws to Sudani, wanting him to tear up the agreement. Putting screws. Really, Eddie? You talk this way? You are too Americanized, buddy. No wonder you like Kentucky Fried Chicken. But don't worry about the framework. But I appreciate the report on it. So yeah, they're trying to put the screws on Sudani, wanting him to tear up agreement with the United States of America about military help and aid and training. Yeah, right. Let's see how Sudani reacts. Is he for the citizens as we hope, or is he going to be loyal to the framework? No, Eddie, you know better than that. I mean, that's not a. I mean, it's an emotional statement on your behalf. It's not a logical statement. Okay. He's going to take care of you guys. He already told the framework to go F themselves, so don't worry about it. He is going to. I'm sorry. I just realized. I'm sorry, God, but the F stands for Frank. Go Frank yourself, okay? That's what I meant to say. Let's see how Sudani reacts. Is he for the citizens as we hope, or is he going to be loyal to the framework who put him in office? Eddie, the framework did not put Sudani in office. Kazemi and Chalet did. And there wasn't even a vote. Nobody got their fingers turned purple, did they? I told you, don't worry about it. It's all set. One day, Eddie, I'll tell you why all these pieces never required a vote, why all these pieces never required the government's approval. One day I'll tell you who gave that approval. I said one day. It's loyal to the framework who put him in office. So no, yeah, you make sure you correct that with your friends and your family, Eddie. The framework did not. You know who actually put him in, Eddie? Barzani from Kurdistan. That's who put him in as prime minister. In fact, that's why Barzani signed the contracts of the HCL, because they had finally agreed. Anyways, I'm getting off. So yesterday, 11:21 in the morning. Good morning, Mr. Frank. We hear nothing but good news today. Finally. About the HCL. Oh, well, yeah. About the HCL and the meeting here that all changes will be passed and approved. And everything has been accepted by the Kurds with Barzani and Sudani from Baghdad. All agree is the word we got here. So it's just a matter of time now. All a green light with the HCL. Yeah. And it's the HCL, Eddie, that I told you a long time ago. When you see the HCL, prepare yourself. Your new exchange rate is coming right behind it, because that's the only reason why you see the HCL. Thank you, Dan Guyas. Guyas, I think I'm saying that right, from Canada. Oh, you're a number one fan. Thank you. Thank you for your financial contribution. God bless you. Thank you so much. Okay, so all the changes and be passed, and they accepted everything with the Kurds in Baghdad. All is agreed upon. Like you said, Mr. Frank, we are all standing shoulder to shoulder. Agree is the word that we got here. So it's just a matter of time now. All green light with the HCL. Yesterday, 3:07. Check this out. So yesterday in the afternoon, look at that rate. Look at that rate. You don't know about that, but watch this. The exchange rate now, it is now at 1571. Now the television is saying that the CBI and the government is coming up with plans to deal with the high dollar exchange rate. This was yesterday. Eddie has been seeing the shadow effects of the Iraqi dinar floating. It is in my opinion. Everything I say to you is in my opinion. This whole call is in my opinion. I'm sorry, but if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. But in my opinion, the Iraqi dinar is already floating. It's not floating internationally yet. It's floating internally, and it's going to go international very soon. And then he says to me here, yesterday at 3:07, the exchange rate now is at 1571. Now the television is saying that the CBI and the governor are coming up with a plan to deal with the high dollar exchange rate. And that plan is a new exchange rate. Dana Green. Oh, Dana, you're always so faithful and loyal. Thank you kindly for your financial contribution. I like your Superman. That's powerful. So, I mean, what would 1460 up to 15 something, here 1571, and then all of a sudden, boom, it dropped dramatically. That's the parabola. That's the pattern. That's the path that would graft itself out if you was to follow its growth. Today, 9:44. I should. Yeah, I did show you that, didn't I? So now today, at 9:44. Today, the dollar exchange rate in the market went down. Oh, teeter, totter, up, down, fluctuation. Yes, because they have depegged. It is unstable. I only got 3 wheels in my car. Give me the extra. Where's my 4th wheel? It's going over there with a bunch of other currencies. Can I go? You better hurry up and catch up. All right, hold up. Oh, Gimpy USD is coming. I'm a coming. Wait for me. Today, the dollar exchange rate in the markets went down. And how do you feel about that, Eddie? I don't know. I'm confused. No, he didn't say that. Today, the dollar exchange rate in the market went down. Went down some. This afternoon, when the CBI told us, they told us that they're going to do things to reduce the dollar rise. Then we hear a lot about how the banking sector itself needs to be improved for the citizens. Frank, there's a lot of talk about our banks and what needs to go down. Now, we understand based on what you told us about the exchange rate with the files you sent us, it's starting to match up. To which I then respond and I say to him at 11 o'clock, Terry Walters! Was it Walter? Yeah. Terry Walters, muchísimas gracias. Thank you very, very much. Tink, it is official. It is in writing. It says I'm supposed to have a cookie now.
Okay.
Yeah, Terry Walters is my medical doctor. No, for real? For real? This is one doctor that I just never introduced you to. Yeah, no, he went to Sigma Cum Laude High cannibal school or something like that. You getting me my cookies? Okay.
Ready?
It's a bro thing. Yeah, I'm ready. Okay. What is that?
Cookie. It's a cookie.
That's not a cookie.
It is.
That's dandruff.
It's a cookie.
It's not a cookie.
It is.
It's called hickey? Oh, hikey. Hickey. Thank you to my bro. Way to go, Terry. That's what I'm talking about. So I say to him at 11 this morning, like I told you, Eddie. You read while I drink here. He says, I said give Frank a big cookie. That was a big crumb. Okay, so then I respond to him after he said such great things there. Like I told you, Eddie, the exchange rate of the American dollar inside of your country will continue to fluctuate. It's unstable. And that's because it is no longer pegged, and soon they will make that announcement. Now, as far as the CBI banks, they are busy getting ready for you, especially when you stop and think about what your bank friend told you a couple of days ago. He was absolutely correct, in my opinion. Yes, Mr. Frank, I'm actually going to go see him again tomorrow, and I'll give you his report. Then Neil, my contact, says, Frank, Eddie says that with this HCL deal done and signed, are you ready? This is his opinion. Eddie says with this HCL deal done and signed, we will see this soon and expect speed up everything. That's Eddie, but to which I said, that's right. That's right. Things are going to be moving like you stepped on a banana on ice. Today, 4:23 in the afternoon, the rate is still going down. You see, family, that's it has to do this. It has to. The upward movement, I told Eddie, I didn't tell you, I said, leave it alone. You're going to see it drop very, very soon. I even told him the dates, the times, and everything. And sure enough, now that it's dropping, we feel that the next movement would be an international float. Oh, this is my opinion. What's your opinion? Vicky Rowe, thank you. Oh, hold on, I can do that too. Let me see. Let me put down like this. Good, heart. Is that it? Oh, I had a heart attack. Oh, no, wait, no. Is that how you do it?
Thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
Let me see.
Thumbs down. No?
Thumbs down.
Oh. Like that? Oh, I did it.
There was one before her.
There was one before Vicky? I didn't see it. Tony Fair. What's he doing?
His heart's beating.
Oh, his heart's beating. That's cute. What's he got on his head?
A feather.
A leaf or a feather. Whatever it is. God bless you. Thank you, Tony Fair. Thank you, Vicky Rowe, for your financial contribution. God bless you all. You read it too? You read it too at the same time? Retired person?
No.
Look at a retired person. He says, hey, Frankie, what? Is that a pet treat you just ate? Which one you looking at?
The one underneath there. Couple down.
The one underneath that one?
Shrinkflation cookies.
Shrinkflation cookie, yeah. Okay, so wow. Forever, up, and he's angry. We give him a file. He says, oh, for real? And then when it comes and it goes down today, he says, you're right. I said, yeah. But the thing is that is most important now, will it now do the next thing that we put in the file for you? We believe that the next movements would be international. I don't know. I mean, that's what the 29th of January is all about. Oh, but so is the 9th. No, the 29th is about the stock market. The 9th is about the budget. But now they say they want it on the 4th. But tonight, the rate is still going down. Now it's 14.55 at closing today. And we see the old Prime Minister Kazemi is talking today about the stealing of money. He basically is trying to cover himself, Frank. He's saying that they knew He knew and had commissions in place to try to stop the stealing that was going on. They say that they're investigating it, but there's no doubt that Kazemi's innocent. And I say to him, it is good to see the rate dropping because that's the way we told you that it would go this week. That tells us, well, I should say tells me. That tells me that the Iraqi dinar is getting closer and closer to its international float. Both the American dollar and the Iranian rial are desperately depending on Iraq to get the Middle Eastern basket started. As far as the framework trying to remove Kazemi or to arrest them, that's nothing but a comical joke from a comical Iranian politician. Then he says, Neil says to me, Frank, Eddie says Soudani said today his goal is to get the dinar rate up for the citizens in a speech. What? What? Well, here, read it. So Soudani, as the prime minister, he knows that Galay, the CBI governor, is soon to give him something, and he has, the confidence to be able to tell the citizens, chill. Don't worry about the American dollar. We told you not to. You see it's going down now. What do you think it's going to go up now? What's the opposite? What's the reciprocal? What's the balance? Okay. Sorry. So Eddie says, Soudani said today his goal is to get the dinar rate up for the citizens in a speech that he made to us. You don't even have an article that says that, do you, family? Today, 7:31. Eddie, Eddie says, the banks have stopped all transactions until January the 2nd. What? What'd you just say, Eddie? What'd you say? Well, yeah, Eddie is saying that the banks have stopped all transactions until January the 2nd. Eddie, I know they stopped all transactions. They closed all your bank accounts. Everybody from the age of 16 and above now has a bank account, and they wiped out all the other ones. Everybody 16 and above has an account. Now, you're saying that they have stopped the transactions until January the 2nd? I mean, is that what you're telling me, Eddie? That the government, the CBI, has told you guys that all of this freezing, all of this stoppage, all of this wiping out is until the so on the 1st of January. Yeah. Yay. Okay. And then on the next day, wow, that would be pretty cool. Eddie says the banks have stopped all transactions until January the 2nd. What are you going to do after that? Until January the 2nd, which to do, they say, is to do normal audits at the end of the year. They don't need to close your bank account to do an audit, Eddie. It's called a tally. It's called a summation. It's got a total. Which to do normal audit at the end of the year. They do. They really need to close down. Eddie's friend feels like it's the banks just preparing for a major change in the rate, which is about to occur. Again, Eddie's friend at the bank says that the Eddie's friend at the bank says the dollar exchange rate. Well, thank you kindly for being with us tonight, family. I'll see you next Monday. Ooh, even Tink gave me a dirty look. Tell him. Okay. Okay, so the change rate, which is about, well, Eddie's friend feels like it's the banks that are just preparing for a major change in the rate, which is about to occur again. Eddie's friend at the bank says the dollar exchange rate is moving, yes, and it's moving in the right direction now. It is moving downward. That was a way. That was a way for the banks to start collecting the 30 notes. Apparently, they did a lot of collection in the last few days, and that is why they told us on the 2nd of January that would stop. They're collecting the 30 notes, and we also see the Paris Club. Look at your notes. And we have you even seen an article about the Paris Club? But we spent a whole Monday teaching you about it. It woke you up, didn't it? Walking Stick wanted to make sure you understood that. Ta-da. That's why. We also see the Paris Club was assisting Iraq on some of the retrieval of the stolen funds over the years. Look at your notes, over the years. So this is another huge step forward, Mr. Frank, just like you told us when you gave us the report on the Paris Club. A changing of a rate just seems weird. Why shutting down all activities until January the 2nd? We hope in the next future of January we see some really good news about the dinar and so forth. Here. So you can see that the attitude is completely about face. The logic, the thinking, the emotions, the rumors. These guys are in good control about what's going on. Very good control. Oh, since we're paying some business, it's good to see the rate dropping. Because I already read that to you. And then Eddie says that Sidani said today his gold is, yeah, I did that already. Eddie says the banks, it threw up on me. I'm sorry, hold on. We're almost done. So Eddie says, I'll read it again. Eddie says the banks have stopped all transactions until January the 2nd, which is, they say it's to do normal auditing at the end of the year. They do really need to close down. Eddie's friend feels like it's the banks just preparing for a major change in the rate, which is about to occur again because they've collected enough 30 in the last few days. Eddie's friend at the bank says the dollar exchange rate is moving all in. He means it's moving up and down, and that was a way for the bank to start back collecting the 30 notes. Yeah, and it worked. And we also see the Paris Club was assisting. Let me show all of this to you. The next part is what we gave you 2 weeks ago when we talked to you about the Paris Club. And we see that the Paris Club was assisting Iraq on some of the retrieval of the stolen funds. Remember, we said that? Now that you got them, go ahead, raise the value. That's what you want the rest of it. Remember, la, 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 la. Iraq on some of the retrieval of the stolen funds over the years. So this is another huge step towards a changing of the rate, because we know what the Paris Agreement was, and the CBI has fulfilled it. It just seems weird. Why shutting down all the activities until January the 2nd? We hope we hope next future of January we see some really good news. And the dinar here. Read that part. And the dinar to have a new rate. Okay, the rest is reports from his bank friend that I'd rather not share. And we're done. That was 2 hours. I'm tired. Listen, somebody sent a donation to help Walking Stick. We really appreciate it. But unfortunately, you sent it in one of these packages, okay? And should I say the name, Tank? Can I say the name? No.
Say Chris.
Chris?
From wherever.
Let's just say Chris,
Texas.
yeah, from Texas. You sent us a donation. You sent a donation for walking stick, but unfortunately, you made it out to walking stick. That's just a persona. That's just a name. We can't cash this. Will you please call us tomorrow so we can send this back to you? 419-283-2552. And if you have any interest in the immune product family, my wife and I can give you testimonies. Our phone number is 419-283-2552. And finally, to Patriot 1776, thank you kindly for your financial contribution. God bless you. I see the picture. Drop the mic. Okay, fair enough. So we put a shout out about that. You can see that there's a lot of activities that are occurring right now. You see this, like I said, it's a compression of time, an accordion effect. You've got the first to celebrate, okay, and then you got the second that they're telling you that they, well, you heard what they want. Then you got the fourth that the parliament is saying, but then you also have the ninth, which is when the government is supposed to form. But then you got the 29th. Oh my goodness! So you want a date? There you go. Hey, sweetheart, Tink,
Yes.
you want to go to the movies tomorrow?
Okay.
You want to go on a date?
Okay.
Now that's a date. I'll give you a rate. 62. Yeah, that was my last heart rate that I took. Oh, that's cheating. Anyway, oh, T-Ball! Look at T-Ball, Jan. I think this is T-Ball's twin. Yeah, because it's 20. Yeah. God bless you. Did you have fun tonight? Did you learn some things? Are you happy? I am too. I've been waiting for a long time to be able to talk the way I'm talking this last month. And I pray that January is the month when they launch things. Before, there was a lot of pressure to do it. Now, I see everything that was being pressured is done. That's why I believe that the next thing, the next movement, I guess you could even call it the next PIP movement, should be outside. And let's see what happens. Happy New Year to all of you. God bless you. I'll see you next year. Thank you kindly for your support. Thank you kindly for your financial contributions. Thank you kindly for being my friend. Many of you call. And we spend the whole day, ain't it, Tink?
Mm-hmm.
I spend the whole day on the phone with you because I love you. And apparently you have some love for my wife and I. I enjoy my time with you. I believe this is part of my ministry. When you call today, I had a lady, her husband died in July. She's all by herself. That's not right. I could feel her pain. I could hear her pain. I imagine what it would be like if I didn't have my Tink. Pray for each other. Even if you don't know the person, pray for the kingdom of God. Pray for his children. Pray for Israel to know Jesus. Pray for each other. Pray for your neighbor. Pray for your loved one. Call them, visit them, write them. Lift somebody's heart. It'll make you feel so good. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling when you do something good. How do you feel when you do something bad? You feel bad. You feel real bad. How do you feel when you do something good? Oh. You feel the presence of Jesus. I thank you kindly for being my friend when you call me, when you visit me, when you text me, when you email me, when you PM me. Thank you kindly for being my friend. I truly appreciate it. And we will be friends for a lifetime as long as God keeps us on this planet. But one day, KTFA family, we will all be in heaven for an eternity. But I don't think an eternity will be long enough to be your friend. Thank you kindly for being my friend today. God bless you. Happy New Year. Live for Christ. Bye-bye. Sweet aloha. Bacchus? Oh, really? Oh, Bacchus, sweetheart. Thank you, Bacchus, for your financial contribution, and thank you, Jan, for pointing that out. Bacchus is always there for us. She's just an amazing person. Thank you, sweetheart. God bless you. I would salute you. Hoorah. Y'all take care. See you on Monday. Bye-bye. Sweet aloha.
Goodbye.
It says sugar-free.
No, it doesn't.
It says something is free.
Your sister got those for you.
It says keto-free.
Keto friendly.
Well, it has enough in it. It says grain-free.
Yep.
It says gluten-free.
Right.
It says sugar-free. Well, what the heck is there to eat? Well, I think I
How many
should.
cookies are in there?
How many are in here?
Just put it in a bowl of milk like it's cereal.
Carry my 3. I think there's 372 in here. For real. I love you, sweetheart.
Love you too.
Thank you for being my wife. Thank you for selecting me out of all those ugly guys. You took the ugliest one of them all.
No.
I respect you, Jen. I respect our marriage. And I love you.
Love you
And I
too.
thank you for our children. I thank you for my lineage. I thank you for being my wife. I thank you for being in my life.
I love you too, baby.
Bye-bye.